This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael, I'm stuck in a movie theater, and I've seen The African Queen, a semi-romantic adventure drama from 1951 directed by John Huston. Set in 1914, the movie follows Rose, a Methodist missionary working in Africa with her brother. The two receive supplies from Charlie, who operates a small steamboat called the African Queen. One day, German troops arrive, burning down the village, whisking the villagers away, and striking Rose's brother, which leads to his death shortly afterwards. Charlie also returns, his boat being wanted by Germans for its supplies and explosives, and together he and Rose set off down the river to escape. As Charlie informs Rose about what is ahead for them, she comes up with a plan to help the war effort, one which Charlie is reluctant to follow through upon. The story is relatively balanced between this journey on the African Queen and the development of Rose and Charlie's relationship, which begins with a somewhat begrudging sense of tolerance towards each other, but opens up more as they endure the various trials of the wilderness. The romance does feel a bit secondary to the adventure storyline, though, and it's not really developed as deeply as it could have been, or at least as it would have been in a more traditional romance film. Still, it's not so much the romance of the characters, but their clashing personalities and the journey that brings them together and overcome their differences that is the primary goal of the plotline. As for the river journey, it's certainly fraught with danger, but comes in waves, so to speak, in that it alternates between scenes of high and low tension, with the larger stakes being more of an ongoing threat than anything more immediate. In any case, The African Queen does strive to appear like an epic adventure film, and it manages to do so pretty well. There are some shots during action sequence that were pretty clearly done on a set with special effects work to avoid any true danger, but they blend in pretty well with wide shots and aren't too prominent to be a distraction. Much of the film seems shot on location though, or at least looks that way thanks to an excellent production design and cinematography that gives a nice focus on the landscape, with colors that bring out the beauty in nature as well. Editing also brings the film together, most especially in the aforementioned action sequences, but also in other sequences, including those that give scenes a more upbeat and comedic tone. It all comes together to make the film a rather nice cross between a budding romance and a thrilling adventure, though its focus on the characters is seemingly the main draw over the story itself. Thankfully, the two leads are indeed charismatic enough to keep you engaged, and in the end, the film becomes less about their journey and more about them. The African Queen, John Huston, 1951. 4 stars. I recommend seeing it whenever you can. That's it from me tonight. If you liked this review, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't like it, then leave a dislike. That's what that button's for, after all. As always, subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I gotta say, it's kind of refreshing that this movie doesn't try to make operating a steamboat look easy.